Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. We continue in our series of the Tafsir of Surah Yusuf. Ayah 55, in the previous session we talked about how Yusuf alayhi salam went from the prison to translating the dreams of the king to now even working for the king. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Yusuf alayhi salam, after being summoned by the king, he says to him, قَالَ اجْعَلْنِي عَلَى خَزَائِنِ الْأَرْضِ, appoint me over the storehouses of the land. إِنِّي حَفِيظٌ عَلِيمٌ, for indeed I am and I will be a hafiz and alim. Alim being knowledgeable, and hafiz meaning someone who will guard it correctly, safeguard it. That's what we call the huffaz of the Quran, the people who guard or protect it in a sense. And of course the Quran also protects as well. And these two qualities are very important qualities. He says, I am hafizun alim, I will be a knowing guardian. One of these qualities refers to his morality. And one of these qualities refers to his abilities. Now, when you talk about leadership from an Islamic perspective, it's important that the morality is there, but it's also important that the ability also be there. It can't just be one without the other. So for instance, in the story of Musa alayhi salam, when he's there and he's helping the ladies get water for the sheep, the lady goes back to her father and she says, hire him because he is a... What are the two qualities she describes him as? Strong and qawiyun. What does she call him? Musa alayhi salam. Qawiyun what? Qawiyun amin. Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. MashaAllah. Okay. Qawiyun amin. Okay. One of these refers to his ability, qawi. One refers to his morality, his trustworthiness, amin. Okay. And so it's important that when people are working for in leadership position, especially as Muslims, if you have the ability, you add in the Islamic morality as well. We also see here a prophet of Allah working for a government that's not Muslim, right? The king wasn't a prophet, he wasn't a Muslim. And here we see a prophet working for a non-Muslim government. Okay? I'm not saying that everyone go apply, but I'm just saying the permissibility aspect. You can make an argument from this story. As long as the work that's being done is obviously halal. وَكَذَلِكَ Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ, and this is how we establish Yusuf in the land. And we mentioned earlier that all of this is according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plan. From the well to slavery to imprisonment, all of this was just a journey for Yusuf alayhi salam to get here. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we touch with our mercy, بِرَحْمَتِنَا مَنْ نَشَاءُ, whom we will, وَلَا نُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. And here again the quality of muhsin, of ihsan comes again. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we will not allow the reward of those who do good to be lost. We will not lose it. Muhsinin, again, remember, it refers to people that are not just good, but people who excel or strive. You know, they're not people that are lazy or procrastinate. They put ihsan into things. And this is the reward for the righteousness is never lost. وَلَأَجْرُ الْآخِرَةِ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and the reward for the hereafter is better for those who believe. وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ, and those who had taqwa of Allah. Sufyan ibn Uyayna rahimahullah and others mention about this verse. They said that this verse indicates that the believers will have two rewards. Not just in the akhirah, but also in this dunya as well. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَأَجْرُ الْآخِرَةِ خَيْرٌ, it's better than. And in order for something to be better than, there has to be two things. One thing better than the other. So the ajr of this dunya versus compared to the ajr of the akhirah is better than this one. But that means the ajr in this dunya also exists. Right? And so as believers, you should never despair in the mercy and the hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially for good in this life and the next life. That's why we say the dua, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. طيب, just to wrap it up with this last verse. وَجَاءَ إِخْوَةُ يُوسُفَ فَدَخَلُوا عَلَيْهِ. And the brothers of Yusuf, they came to him. فَعَرَّفَهُمْ, and he knew them. وَهُمْ لَهُ مُنْكِرُونَ, and they did not recognize, he was unknown to them. Now at this point, a number of years had passed. And Yusuf alayhi salam, you can kind of just fill in the blanks. Now we're talking about the 7 good years, the 7 bad years, right? So the 7 good years have come and gone, and now we're into the 7 bad years, and we're not at the beginning. We're probably into it, because now people from other lands are coming to Egypt. So why are they coming to Egypt? Because Egypt, they saved, the other people didn't. And now you can kind of just remember, we're filling in the blanks. So that means Egypt must have saved. They must have saved good for everyone else around the area to have heard about it. And they didn't save, and now they're all coming to Egypt, which means everyone's lining up and the traffic jam is all headed towards Egypt. Right? And now Yusuf alayhi salam, not only they're taking care of their own people, but also everyone else in the area. Okay? And so the brothers of Yusuf came to him seeking food, and they entered upon him, and he recognized them, but they did not recognize him. Okay. Why were they in the company of Yusuf? Does it make sense that people who are in line for assistance, they go to the top of the food chain in terms of the government officials? No, right? They just come, they get some distribution, and they go home. So this shows that it has to have been a special case. What's so special about these people? Number one, they're foreign aliens, right? They must also be asking for a lot. Now, the Yusuf alayhi salam was one of how many brothers? 12. He was one of 12. Benjamin he didn't know about, so the other 10 brothers, plus them, plus their families. Now we're talking about 30 years at least has come and gone. And they've got wives and they've got kids. So how many mouths are they trying to feed now? So this is a very special case. We have this people from a tribe, from a faraway land, and they're coming and they're asking for like millions of dollars. So hold on a second. We need to go get clearance for that, right? And so they go one manager to the next, all the way up to the top, Yusuf alayhi salam. And now he's hearing their case. And he recognizes them, and he begins to ask them question after question after question. Okay? And then inshallah, on Thursday, we'll see what happens after they begin answering these questions and the digging that Yusuf alayhi salam does. Inshallah. طيب, any questions up to here so far? جزاك الله خير. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى اللهم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. جزاك الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.